Hey, what's going on? This is Original Flow yet again. We're gonna do something different this time. So, this one is actually gonna be a spoken word. So I'll let them choose whatever song that they want to hear off the album. You know, no restrictions or anything like that, unless it was already done before. But so I'm very interested this time because you chose "Angry Black Man."
Yeah.
So I'm really excited because this one's pretty heavy. So I hope you're ready.
I figured it. I'm wetty.
So buckle up and get ready for a ride. You ready?
You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know how it feels to be hated and killed. Screaming, hearing 500 shrills for 500 years. Hatred manifesting the black fear. Inhumane atrocities forged for black tears. You still don't want to hear. Turn my culture into clowns. Taking babies in the water. And that was just the start of all the blood and deception America's a part of. Shooting all our leaders. You know we ain't got no father. Laughing at my struggle. Praying I get caught up. Rolling your eyes when black lives get caught up, huh? I was the person before I ever was a color. I love my skin. I love my sisters and brothers. We was torn apart by pigment and complexion. Racism is a mental disease and infection. You need help. Believe me, you need help. Judging my morality and skin instead of asking me yourself. Denying the peace you would get if you just felt all the pain that you dealt. I'm tired of getting roused by the political agendas. Then when problems get real, they never dare to defend us. Hell, who is us? Who is us? The people that get tired of getting killed with no justice. And the same people that scared of me saying, trust us. Who is us? The mad black women who get no love and respect. Every outcry gets a deflect. Or the strong black men we seem to neglect. You manipulate the rope around the neck. Turn a king to a thug. While a prince takes the slug. The queen to the mistress. Princess too young to wear the lipstick. Turn up missing, shoulders shrug. Dirty and nasty. The world be searching for world peace. Peace. Damn it, I need release. And you still think it's me that needs to cease. We starving while you feast, gorging off the land that you stole from the brave and the bold. A story erased and untold, unsold to the masses. We are the unsung brilliance, loving and resilient, marching by the millions, refuting all this killing. You don't get how I'm feeling. You don't get it. You don't get how I'm feeling. And you still want to say nickel.
Was that the end?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I think it gave me, of course you're your own artist, you don't sound like anybody else, but listening to that kind of gave, like the very end, it kind of made me think of Vic Mensa. And in his song 16 Shots. Oof, such a good song. If you guys don't know that song, 16 Shots, Vic Mensa, same album as Liquor Locker. I know a lot of people know that, but that song was not song. It can be a song. Everything's
It's
a song. Anyways,
yeah.
That poem was strong.
Yeah.
Strong. Ooh, bars. I have no. But it didn't just hit on angry black men. It hit on everything. The princess who can't wear lipstick. Like black women that don't get the love. You know, like you hit on everything. It wasn't just angry black men. I got a little teary-eyed listening to that. Oh my goodness, you said trust us. There's just so much. I would have to listen to it several times to remember the lyrics, but that was a strong poem.
Thank you.
Strong. So, what made you write that? And it's so strong, and the tone in it, your tone, I could feel the pain. I could hear the pain. Oh, my chest is heavy. Like, you did really good. So what made you put in so much emotion into that? Like some people, you know, they can write something and not put in as much emotion as possible due to the fact that when you put in so much emotion, it puts you in a spiral. Puts you in a spiral where you feel like you can't get anything done. So putting that emotion in there and writing that, what was that like for you?
The crazy thing about this one is it was like a late edition. It was in replace of another poem that I had added. It just didn't cut it for me. And I was actually driving when I wrote the poem. I wrote the whole thing from coming from the studio to my house, and it just, everything almost just hit me all at once when I wrote it, and I was just thinking about me. I was thinking about the stuff I went through, the stuff I've learned as a black man, because a lot of people don't understand that black people, we have to do our own research. We have to do our own fact finding for what's going on in the world that happens to pertain to us black people. We have to, because no one else is going to give us that knowledge.
Exactly.
You know, and it's like absorbing everything, thinking about my aunts, thinking about my sisters, the world that we're going into. And it's crazy because like how relevant like hearing those lyrics are now. It brought me to tears just now. Just because like in that moment I wrote everything, I just had this like hit of, I need to write this. This needs to happen. This needs to go on the album. And I hit up POB and I was like, bro, this has to go on the album like now.
Yeah.
And we recorded it, and that's how I went in. I went in just like that. We had to record it a couple times because I was so emotional. Like I was slurring my words, and I was just shouting too loud, and I was just, they were just looking. It was quiet after I finished, and it was just like, yo,
okay.
Yeah, I was like,
I put my feelings on the table.
Yeah, like what just happened? Like this you flow, you know, and I wanted to be 100% honest about how I feel about everything, because I don't normally talk about what goes on like that, in that way. And I felt like it was important for me to do so at that point, because something moved me to do it, and I acted on those things.
And I feel like that you putting in that we're all struggling as a whole. And just the song in it, or the poem in itself, I chose that poem just because my brother is a black man, and I know he's angry. Like, and so I chose that because I was like, what you think in your head could be the same exact thing he's thinking in his head. Of course, women can say, I know how y'all men think, but we don't know for sure how y'all think, you know, all the way to the core. So whenever I listen to that, that's giving me an idea of how my brother is thinking and how he feels. And then whenever you bring in children and you bring in women as well, that means something to me, because I have been told as a black woman that my struggle isn't as much as it is with a black man, because I am a woman and I am thick and I am light skinned and I am pretty, and and so whenever you bring that in there too, it lets me know that our struggles are noticed as well. Women's struggles are noticed as well. Children's struggles are noticed as well. That we're all struggling. So that really means a lot.
Good.
So I definitely like that you chose to talk about everything. How long did it take you to write that?
From the studio.
That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
All that's all. So first of all, riding and driving. Don't do it, kids. It's not good for you.
Yeah,
don't do it. Don't follow him. But sometimes that's when the best art comes, at the most inopportune time. You're going to sleep, and then there's.
It's almost like at least for me, it's almost like a good and bad feeling I get writing in the car, because it's like I feel like that's my zone for some reason right now. Like it used to be just at my house at night and I would write. But right now, at least for Blackmankidboy, it was everything I wrote for Blackmankidboy was in my car. As I'm driving to work, as I'm coming back from work, as I'm going to the studio, as I'm leaving from a show. Like it all happened in my car. And I don't know, it was just something about it, but also like, you know, being a black man driving, you know, around those times, like I'm paranoid, like all my emotions are just like out there. But I want to touch base on, like, I like how you brought up the things I was speaking about black women. And, you know, I think that's equally important with what's happening to black men, and it needs to be spoken about.
I agree.
And I feel like it's a reason why it's not. It's, at least in my personal perspective, I feel like there's always a reason to create some type of, you know, left and right argument. Like there can never be unity. So I feel like it's always done on purpose, like how, you know, women are pretty much bribed to like break up their families to get more money, you know, for their children, you know, from the government. They do that purposefully, and we do it in our own communities without knowing it. Like you said, you know, your struggle is not as hard as a black man. Like, I feel like that type of conversation, you know, has been put into us to where we have that distinguishable argument to where like, oh, you don't understand what it's like to be a black man. Well, you don't understand what it's like to be a black woman. And like, it continues that separation.
Exactly.
And instead of us having unity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
there's that left and right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And there's always a left and right. There's no up or down or, you know, Midwest or it's always left or right. There is no in between.
Exactly.
With that world. You know, and they do that, at least I'm ranting here, but they do that. Yeah, they do that on everything we look at. They do that on, you know, your favorite college team. You know, your favorite, you know, mobile device. Why isn't there another company called Begorbabosh that's just as good, you know what I'm saying? It's just as good as Apple or Android, but it's like, no, you don't have an Apple, you're trash.
Exactly.
You know?
They don't want unity.
Yeah.
They want unity.
You know, so it starts small and it builds up to these moments in our lives to where the cracks show. And I wanted to just point those things out, and just also on the point of like the age-old conversation about who should use the N-word or not. And it's like, I was like, bro, like, you know, my entire ancestry that was at least brought to America was mistreated by your people. And to this day, we're mistreated by your people. We were slaughtered, you know, killed, all these things and above. And you just want to be cool to say the N-word. It's like, bro, like, you don't even know where, like...
When is it okay to say it?
Yeah.
No, don't ask me that question if you have to ask me.
But the funny thing is, like, I was looking at something, and they were like, I can't remember his name. He was like, if you want to say the N-word, say it. Just say it. And at that moment, like, it took all the power away from him to say, and I thought that was really interesting. Concept that he brought out, and then just put the dude on blast. He was like, he was like, go ahead, say it. It's like, you know, this
that takes away from the power
the
word has. Do you think the word has a lot of power?
No, I don't think it has a lot of power. I think whatever we instill in has a lot of power.
I agree.
Which is the reason why stories have been passed around so long through generations, at least for like in Africa, you know, storytelling was like the thing, you know, at least from what I know. and to pass that on to generations. And you know, it gave these things life, it gave these things meaning, it gave these things power. And you can, one who understands, one who has that knowledge can manipulate that power if they see fit. You know, understanding, you know, even just the Ethiopian term, which is niggas. You know, like if that was in, you know, the dictionary, you know, it would change the whole identity of that word.
Exactly. And
I would think, personally, I feel like in America, that word probably would be hidden away from African Americans. Like, we're not allowed to use that word. Like, no, it means royalty, it means king. You know, so you have like a lot of this, you know, oppressor authority, you know, walking around calling each other niggas. Hey, my niggas.
Like, exactly.
You know, oh, it means king? Oh, that's definitely
right.
Like, no, it's not. But that's just my own personal interpretation. I feel like I think it's really important, first and foremost, for us as Black people to do our history, to do our research, because if we're hearing it from anywhere else, it's probably manipulated and watered down. And So, you know, it's important that we do our own research and we do our own history lessons for ourselves, because if we don't educate ourselves, we'll be educated by the oppressor who wants to keep us in this slave mentality of thinking the only thing we're good at is being free. You know what I'm saying? You know, we just came from slaves. It's what the concept that what they want us to have, but it's like, no, these people that you took from their land were doctors, mathematicians, you know, above and beyond philosophers, people who actually knew how to crop and sharecrop and all these things, gave you these tools, gave you these ideas, and you killed them and took their ideas, you know. So I think it's important to, if we want to talk about history, we should definitely rewrite it in the most truest aspect of that history. But I digress.
Classes should be organized for, because in high school and any school really, they don't teach enough of it. So I feel like if someone wants to organize an underground teaching area, there's an idea.
Right. You know, I mean, that also comes into the fact of, like, we would have to buy and create our own school system, which is possible. We can create our own private schools that's funded by the community that it lives in. We can do that, but us as Black people, we're not taught the information. We don't understand, like, dang, it really is possible. Like, yeah, like, instead of like having that, you know, be the trap, like turn it into a park in a school, to where you teaching your youngins, like, yo, this is how you do it, and protect it with those people who you know, who hard. Like, if you're a tough guy, you know, protect your community.
I also feel like the vision that the world tries to give and portray of us, in general, I feel like sometimes that can take over a person's mentality. So when you're told, oh, you're only going to be this, and this is what you can amount up to, some people put that in their head and they keep it at that. So,
because like we had just said, we can give words. Do you feel like the word has power? And I'm like, no, it doesn't have power, and at that moment, it does not have any power. And that's what we do. That's what I want to do for, like, the youth, and to say, hey, you know, you give your life meaning by speaking those things into existence. If you feel like those things have power, then they'll have power over you, and vice versa. So I think that's what we can do to move forward. And Angry Black Man was like that, of like, hey, this is what's going on, I'm addressing the issue.
Exactly. You spoke out on all of it, and if I could say the lyrics again, I would, but my memory is not the best, so I remember. I just need you to send it to me through email. So I can listen to it again and send it to my brother so he can listen to it as well.
Okay. Well, I think you answered all the questions before I even asked them. So,
you know what?
I mean, I think
ahead of the game, we right here.
Yeah, I mean, this was pretty much a special anyway, because I mean, it was just no beat. It was just straight bars, you know, of truth. So.
But listen, am I interviewing you or are you interviewing me? Exactly.
I mean, that's like the Matrix. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Are we taking the red pill or the blue pill?
Man, I like blue.
Don't take the blue pill.
I'll take red.
I think that's all the questions I have for you. Unless you want to add anything else.
If I have any more questions, I will ask you. Not in front of a camera.
Okay.
We could talk forever
Yeah.
on this situation.
So that's it for this segment. Just go ahead and tell them who you are.
Wait, what? Hello? Hi, my name is Aaliyah. My Instagram name is Leah Mackay, LIYAHMEKHI. I believe everyone is art. So again, I am art. Go ahead and follow me. That's it.